Going to a football match in the middle of pandemic is like an undergoing just test in a reality TV show. A pre-match message instructs me to arrive at Hampden Park in Glasgow 3 hours before Scotland kick off against Czech Republic. I must wear a mask at all times. I must take in all food from my micro bag into a plastic bag provided by the stadium and all the catering all over the shop. So no one see burgers or cartons of flat Pepsi to keep me going. When I immediately turn up to the stadium 3 hours early, the crowds are predictably sparse. The pub outside the ground overflows with supporters wrapped in Scotland flag looked like a tempting alternative. But when I suggest to a steward that might go get a drink ahead of the game, a look of concern crosses her kindly face. Be careful which pub you're going to, she said. That was you coming. What is she referring to? I have given my spare ticket to Rear Scott, my friend Alastair, who is from Edinburgh, so also not 100% at home in Glasgow. We decided to take the spice and skip the pub. Inside the stadium, we encountered a van in the loudest tartan suit I'd ever seen, including a tiny tartan clothes bag. I posed for a photo with him and they tells me I had a tailor-made son. It fits me like a glove. It is not just COVID regulation that make this unique and peculiar European tournament. Euro 2020, as UEFA still insists on calling it, has also become sucked into the culture wars. English football, national football team has symbolized nation, but that is not a straightforward task at a time when national identity is so fiercely contested. The pressing issue for Scotland is independence. For England, it is race. It is English football team has decided to take the knee before matches as a protest against racism. But each time they do it, they are booed by a significant section of their own supporters. Even the government seems uncertain about the response. After hesitating for a while, Boris Johnson, Prime Minister, condemned the booing Irish fan to get behind the team. But two members of his cabinet, Jacob Rees-Mogg and Priti Patel, defended the protesters, with Rees-Mogg suggesting that the protesters are not expressing racism but condemning the masses of Black Lives Matter movement. Patel, who in some secretly accused the player of indulging in gesturing politics. Players from the England team, whose pre-game press conference are normally confined to discussing tactics, injuries, and the atmosphere inside the camp, now being asked to react home secretly. It would be natural to assume that cabinet minister are better political than footballers. The government has reason to be worried of the clashing with the England team. Last year, it went down to an unanimous defeat when it took on Marcus Rashford over the extension of free school meals for poor families. The Manchester United and England board mobilized a million signatures behind the petition and forced the Johnson government to change that. The 23-year-old Rashford preparation for the 2020 included a Zoom call with Barack Obama. While plenty of tourists are prepared about the work in Rashford, none are willing to take him in public. The culture wars over football are not just happening in Britain. The multiracial Belgian team took the knee in Russia ahead the opening game. The Russia also pushing against Marxism. Viktor Orban, Prime Minister of Hungary, one of the host nations for 2020, defended fan who visiting team that saying that Hungarian citizens as provocation. Orban is himself a right-wing provocateur who has become a hero to the Trumpist right in America by straightforward warning about the alleged dangers Europe being flooded by Muslims. But even some moderate conservatives are uncomfortable with footballers taking the knee. One prominent Tory thinker in Britain lamented to me that football used to be a political space, but now the national team has become a source of division. I can see what it means. This year's tournament inevitably brings back memories of Euro 96, when England also played their games at Wembley and the whole country did seem to get behind the team in an uncomplicated sort of way. Back then, packed stadium all joined in the singing of the lines and football's coming home. Now the stadiums are largely empty and some of the home crowds actually bring the players. But as somebody who has been to many England games over the years, I know that the idea was the team was never mixed up with place or race or illusion. The team illusion. England games always have attracted a substantial number of sorry hooligans or right supporters whose trademark chant is "No surrender to RI." At the last European Football Championships in France in 2016, the ugly tradition of English football hooligans re-emerged. When I remarked to another fan that I didn't particularly being caught up in a riot outside the bar in Marseille, I was told curtly, "If you don't like it, you should stay at home and watch the game on television." Football ground in the 1970s was also where I saw the most over racism that I ever witnessed in Britain. It was routine to see black players spark Bibles and monkey noises. The football authorities and commentators were silent about this for many years. So if the national side feel they want to make a statement about racism, it is hard to accuse them of bringing police into the political space. But now the national team has become a source of division. Can see what it means this year. Foreground the night also wears the motivated damage. It was routine to use black flags, bark Bibles, and monkey noses. The football authorities and commentators were silent about this for many years. So if the national side feel they want to make a statement about racism, it is hard to accuse them of bringing politics into a political space. But now the national team has become a source of division. I can the police, particularly the racial police, the police, particularly the racial police, have always been there. The identities are rather different for Scotland. And are rather different for Scotland. Year 2020 comes that the Scottish government is ramping up demand for a second independent referendum. This is the first major international tournament the team has qualified for since 1998, neatly fitting the narrative of national revival. Arriving in Scotland for the first game of the tournament, I find the local paper full of optimism. In recognition of the enormity of the occasion, the Scottish government has even allowed schools to stop lessons to allow the kid to watch the game against Czech live. To allow the kid to stop lessons to watch the game has been allowed the schools to stop lessons to allow the kid to watch the game against Czech live. As a visiting English fan, I wonder how I feel about all this. I grew up supporting Scotland in big international tournaments. I had little options since England failed to qualify for the World Cup in 1974 and 1978, but British identity was less complicated back then. The anthem played for the Scotland side that lined up to play Brazil in 1974 was God Save the Queen, although to recording did not show the Scottish player looking particularly delighted. The team and today, the crowd and team will be building up. Today, the crowd and team will be belting out Love Scotland loud enough to drown out the conversation. Today, the crowd and team will be belting out Love Scotland with this stirring word that can still rise and be the nation again. When Scotland qualified for the World Cup in 1974, there were more than 90,000 people inside Hampden, but today, thanks to COVID, it's a little over 9,000. Far from the joyous return to the big time that has been advertised, it feels pretty black and non-live in the stand, even if the Tartan army has been reduced to little more than a couple of battalions. They belt off Love Scotland loud enough to drown out conversation. The team started the game with all the expected passion and stream forward. Their captain Andy Robertson can be seen gesturing to his player to calm down. Then the Czech score and the air is sucked out of the stadium. At halftime, we tried to spend in the toilet next to the hand dryer, the warmest spot in Hampden. There is hopeful chatter around the window that Scotland might be able to turn this round. But early in the second half, football history is made by the Czechs. The team centre forward gets the ball on the half line and floats the ball over the Scottish goalkeeper into the net. It is one of the most brilliant goals any of us will ever witness. The crowd is now almost totally silent, apart from a tiny group of cheering Czechs on the other side of the stadium, and a group of children continue happily shouting for Scotland, while the crowd around watch frozen in horror. After the match, Alastair reminds me that Scottish fans are used to bitter disappointment. The national team has become a source of division. I can see what it means this year's tournament. It never will be. No. By the Patrick, the team centre forward. choose in horror. After the match, Alastair reminds me that Scottish fans are used to the bitter disappointment. Making the national football team a symbol of the nation is double-edged sword. We imagine them scoring wonderful goals and celebrating the fan. But what if your goalkeeper could floundering fly on his back and tangle them in the net? Euro 2020 has already delivered humbling setback for two football match populist leader. Urban gave permission for a capacity crowd to attend Hungary's opening games in Budapest against Portugal, only to see the national side lose 3-0. Recep Erdogan, president of Turkey, traveled to Azerbaijan and sat in a place of honor next to the prison, from where he was able to see Turkey go down to 2-0 defeat against Wales, while the other around them was frozen in horror. After the match, Alastair reminds me that Scottish fans are used to bitter disappointment. Thus, England fans also have a disappointed most ardent fans. The side often portrays that the embodiment of widely like to believe are national characteristic, courage of calmness under pressure. In fact, as a recent piece by Donald Liu in The Guardian pointed out, England are uniquely bad at holding a lead in a tournament. The numbers seem to suggest they might even be popular. And they're all healthy. The French and Italians are much better at holding their nerve when they take the lead. If Gareth Southgate, the England manager, can somehow break this cycle and turn England into winning outfit, he would inevitably provide a huge boost to Johnson government that is desperate for symbol of the success of Brexit Britain. Southgate has absolutely inevitably inevitably provide huge boost to Johnson government that is desperate for symbol of success of Brexit Britain. But as Southgate has subtly unmistakable position himself to the left of the government on taking the knee, he leads a multiracial team, and he will continue to defend their right to make statements on something other than football. It has become accepted wisdom in Britain that culture wars always work better for the right than the left, but football may be an exception. A poll taken across Europe before 2020 showed 54% of English football fans supported taking the knee, with 39% opposed. If the England team keep winning, the number in favor may rise, along with the team's popularity. For once, he might find once the right may find itself on the wrong end of the culture war. For the duration of Euro 2020, I will care much less about who wins the culture war than who wins the tournament. For Scotland, Euro 2020 began with a deflating defeat. The England team disappointed their fans almost as reliably as the Scots, just slightly later in the day. On the other hand, this is a real tournament. It's taking place in the middle of a pandemic. The stadiums are quarter full, and England are uniquely bad at holding a lead. The England team disappointed their fans almost as reliably as the Scots, just slightly later in the day. On the other hand, this is a real tournament. It's taking place in the middle of a pandemic. The stadiums are quarter full, and England are playing half destiny. I am allowing myself to hope for the weirdest outcome of the lot, an England victory.